Start recording. My mic's working. Yeah, it is. Okay. What do you want to look at today?
Um, I really wanted to mainly prioritize mid game because I've for the most part I feel like my early game is relatively consistent.
Okay.
However, I have a tendency to make really bad plays, like have like really bad deaths during the mid game that will like cost us the game.
Okay.
And I've done it on multiple occasions.
We can
So
we can play from this point. I mean, this is the early game. It's 10 minutes, but like I feel like this is like I feel like the 10 to 20 minutes is like the transitioning to mid game. Or, like 10.
okay,
Because second I think like second mid game is like second dragon, third dragon, herald usage, killing the herald, stuff like that. So you just I hear people joining. So you just play from here. Philios dies. So we played a full dragon. It is important to note that we have Triforce in base, and anytime we have like a completed, like especially like first item, it's like items are exponential in League, so like the first item is probably the most important item in the game. So I think it's fine to pull without it, just because their Aphelios was dead. But if their Aphelios wasn't dead, then I would say to just reset first, right? But I think again in this case that's fine.
okay,
Full clear down. There's no camps up. We just have free time. Our topside camps aren't up for a little bit. Um, so we're honestly just looking to do anything, right? So I think here you kill yourself. You could just leave. You got like Viego reset down like syndrome, like kill this guy and then just
yeah,
walk with your Leona. You just don't always have to pick up the body.
yeah.
So this is a bad death
Well,
here.
actually, I had picked it up because I didn't realize the RTP. Like I wasn't paying attention to it, and then by the time I clicked
You
it, I
didn't
was like,
see the
"Oh shoot,
TP this
R is dead."
entire dive from the very start to now.
No, I have like I definitely like tunnel vision. I didn't notice it.
Okay,
As obvious as it looks, I didn't notice it. And had I noticed it, I wouldn't have gone for that.
that's fine. Yo, plan simple. Just focus down for the dragon spawning in a minute. Pretty simple. Here, if you wanted to base, I'm not saying you have to, but I'm saying here, if you wanted to base right after it, you can. You have, just because you have item, like, I don't know what you're building next. If you're building Last Whisper, you have Last Whisper. If you're building Dirk, you have Dirk. If you're building Shobo, you have Nooncore. Like, it doesn't matter what you're building. With 3 longswords and 850 gold, you have item, right? Guaranteed. Like, component. So if you wanted to just insta base here, you could, just because Dragon in 48 seconds, and it takes like 35 seconds to go from pressing B to showing up on map. So if you wanted to base here, you could get like you could be just to be as strong as humanly possible for this dragon, and still be here on time you can. Because
Yeah.
otherwise, it's either you base or you're just gonna sit in this bush for the next 20 seconds, which isn't useless. This is good too, because if the jungle walks in or the support walks in, you get a free chunk or you get a free kill and you get into dragon. So it's either A, just literally sit in this bush 20 seconds, or and then hope someone walks in, or B, just recall and then you'll be on dragon at the same time. Um,
Okay.
because you'll see here, you're just gonna. This is what you end up doing is normal. You're just walking in a circle, walking in a circle. But now this recall is late because if we're gonna recall, why not just recall right now? Right, recall right now. Dragon's up in 50
Yeah.
seconds. Now we're recalling here. You're still gonna be in time, but you're like kind of cutting it close. Like here, it's like I mean, Dragon's like technically you're not. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where if you recalled earlier, you have to understand you'd be here right now. Like when I said you'd be here right now, and then bot's fighting, you'll make it in
Mhm.
time to help bot land, right? Um,
Okay.
and if you just stayed, same logic, you just stayed and you see bots fighting, like you say stay in this bush and you see bots fighting, then you just walk down and make it. But you recall in a way where you'll never be bot in time. Like the Scalan died, I think if you just stayed, or if you just based earlier, like directly after red buff, then if Kalen dies, then Jin would die for it too. Like Jin would be walking up like this, he get hit by a Leona here and now, or Leona ult into Viego combo, right? Um, so I think the second you kill a camp, like like your last camp in the rotation, it could be full clearing like this, and when you're on blue and you're on Gromp, or when you're full clearing like this, and when you're on Krugs, or when you're on red. Anytime you're clearing your last camp on your like full clear, you should think to yourself, do I like what's the next plan? Okay, next plan here is obviously dragon. How much time till dragon? Okay, it's 53 seconds. What can I do in 53 seconds? Okay, it's either spend my money or gank mid or gank bot. Don't think gank mid is ever doable. It's an RU with full HP and 3 ults, so that's not happening. And then can I gank bot? No, bot is under tower. Can I dive bot lane? Probably not. So can't gank bot, can't dive bot, can't gank mid. Can I innovate any camps? Nope, all these camps are down. So it's either literally just recall or sit in this bush for 20 seconds. And it's like pretty obvious. You could like deduce all this from here. You know the camp's already down, blue cromper down, um, and everything else is like super easy to just look and see.
Mhm.
Because I think you could have prevented this. You could have been bot lane, save Galen's life, or just trade her life for Jin's, and then you could play the 2v2 pretty comfortably. But okay. Well, once she dies, we elect to trade, which is correct. We just play it for Herald, as we're going to Herald. We see tops fighting, so we go there. Your trade line opening leaving base is correct. Like you're thinking, okay, they're gonna do Dragon, so I'll do Herald. Just have to understand that like it's the timing is very important because the idea is normally you'd be on Herald right now, right? While she's on Dragon,
Hmm.
so she won't be able to come in time. Or if she does come, it'll be like dying, and then it'll be like better, right? But once you chase, and
Right.
I'm not saying this is wrong. You just have to understand once you chase for this guy, your Herald timer is gone. The only you have to you don't have we only have so much time as junglers. We have 20 seconds of free time. So when we spend 20 seconds killing top lane, our 20 seconds to kill Herald has been used, has been spent up. Uh, which isn't a bad thing. You just have to understand that. If you kill this guy and your Pantheon lives, that's a different story. Because right now you only have 20 seconds of free time from this guy being on Dragon, right? If you kill this
Mhm.
guy and Pantheon doesn't, and Pantheon and you both don't die, then you gain a new 20-second timer. So here, coming off base, your 20-second timer is I'm on this side of the map and he's not. So the timer is uh jungle proximity. That's your advantage over him, right? In this case, if you kill him and you both live, you gain a new 20-second timer, which is top lane proximity, correct? But if you guys kill him and Pantheon doesn't die, then your jungle timer's gone and you don't gain a new timer because you have no advantage. A timer is basically an advantage. Advantage could be from proximity, it could be item, it could be level, it could be ult, it could be anything you want. In this case, your opening off map advantage was jungle proximity. If you kill this guy and Pantheon lives, your advantage is top lane proximity. Right now, you just kill this guy, Pantheon dies, you have no new timer. You don't have a jungle timer because he killed Dragon 10 seconds ago. In 10 seconds, he could be here right now if you wanted already. Um, and you know, so you have no jungle advantage. Especially you also use your ult to kill this guy, so you have no ult advantage. Um, he at this point in the game he could be at the side of the map as well. And you have no top lane advantage because again Mordekaiser, you're both top laners are dead. Another thing is here, there's a world where this guy doesn't come to trade the Herald. He could just full clear. He could do Gromp, Blue, Gromp, Wolves. He could full clear like this. There's no guarantee that he'll do Dragon and straight to Herald, but he sees you on a ward. And if you're blast running over this wall, what could you possibly be doing? There's only one obvious thing. You're either invading him, which he's gonna want to come defend, or you're starting Herald, which now he's like, oh, I can defend this 2v2. Both top laners are dead. He's half HP, and he's no ult. So why would he ever like not come to this Herald in a million years? You know? So you just have to
Right.
recognize, okay, I can't do this. Maybe I can do this, but hey, let me first clear this ward, and I could be sneaky. You could like hit this ward, and then like walk downwards, and then last second walk up, like do vision. You could be like sneaky with vision, and B, you could be like, oh, technically I do have a top lane advantage. My top laner can ult, and the Mordekaiser like my top laner can ult to the fight. So then, but then again, Pantheon's up in 11 seconds. It takes them like 4 seconds to get in range, and then 4 seconds to ult. So you could have the earliest you could have your top laner here is in 17 seconds. So what does this mean? We could kill this ward. We can hover in this bush. We should like kill 10 seconds, like 10 seconds of doing nothing, and then start the herald. So then Pantheon will be here in time. So it's not a 2v2, it's a 2v3. You know. Um,
Hmm.
and then here I think you also like should be like thinking about it. Cause I don't think you're thinking about Pantheon ult at all. So if we're not thinking about it,
No,
we shouldn't start it.
obviously.
Because here, if we were thinking about it, then we spam on the way ping, spam assistance ping, um, spam target ping. Because look, Pantheon ulted in, and like we should be wiping these guys. Ari should die, Kindred should die. We should get reset. We should get the Herald, you know. Um, so
Yeah.
the only reason you'd ever pull objective there is based off Pantheon, and you obviously had no idea Pantheon was coming. So we shouldn't even pull the objective to begin with. Make sense?
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
I think the important thing for everyone to understand here is the timer thing, right? Is the anytime you do a play, objective, an invade, anything, is based off an advantage. An advantage could be any advantage: tempo, timer, item, level, HP, ultimate, right? He left base, and his advantage was proximity to map. Kindred has to be bot side because of Dragon. So he has first proximity to top side. Anything top side that says this or this or this or this or getting top or this, anything that happens to the side of the map, invade, tower, herald is his. and then but it's only for so much time because it doesn't take 5 minutes to kill dragon. It only takes 20 seconds. And then once the 20 seconds run out, and Kindred can base and run straight to top, or she can just cross through mid, his timer advantage is completely gone, right? Um, and then he could have recycled his advantage by if you kill their top and your top doesn't die, that's a new 20-second advantage. My top laner is alive for 20 seconds, his top laner isn't, which again opens up the door to all of those things again. Invade all three of the camps, or scuttle, or to hit tower, or to do herald, right? So it's all about like tracking advantages. If you want to call it timers, advantages, or opportunities. There's elite players and coaches have 30 different words for them. They all mean the same thing. It's just whatever word you prefer. You know.
Mhm.
Timer is kind of just a term for it's my time to do something. It's not their timer. Timer basically means like for me to do this, I lose nothing. For them to come do this, they lose a lot. You know. Not bad. I hate how you play this. I would queue over the Bula Fall for Jin earlier, but I don't hate this. Let me see it again.
I was originally trying to stop the Herald as well, but I didn't get behind it in time, so it knocked me away. So I just ignored it. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
the
I get
charge
it.
already went off
You
because
don't
I was
have
trying
to.
to prevent the
Yeah,
charge on the
I
way
get it.
there, and then
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Let me watch this fight. Nah,
yeah.
I don't
I
mind.
went
I
for
don't mind.
Kindred first with the stun because I didn't know she had ultimate or not, so I wanted to
Yeah,
kill her
I don't
as
mind the
fast as
fight. If
possible.
anything, I'd say the biggest problem here is that you're not watching the fight earlier. Like the second this fight starts, like boom, right now, just right click here, like on the way to the fight, and then just you should be watching this fight for the entire. Let's say it takes you 10 seconds to walk there. You should be your screen should be in this blue jungle like this. This square should be your screen for the next 8 seconds. And these next 8 seconds, you're not like look at your screen the next 8 seconds. Why am I looking at this right now? Why am I looking at you? See, why am I looking at this? 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 I don't know anything about the fight. Did Kendra just ult? Did she not ult? Did she just flash? Does Ari have ult? What's her charm cooldown? Because you go into this fight right now and you're blind. You have no idea. Is charm up? Is charm down? Does Kendra have ult? Does she have flash? Maybe if you watched this fight earlier and you saw that she flashed it. Let's say you watched the fight earlier and you saw her flashed and you saw her ult. You would never start the fight like this. You would just ult over the wall, right? Um, but you have to like look for info. Like you have no info on how this fight, or what's going on in the fight. People aren't gonna no human being. Let's say Kaylin's team fighting right now, and let's say she sees Kindred Flash. She's never going to press tab while fighting and ping Kindred Flash because she's busy fighting, right? Even when people die, they're not
Mhm.
gonna immediately like ping it because they're like kind of like processing the death still, you know. So you have no idea who flashed this fight, who didn't. But you have to be watching the fight before you walk to it to know um what's down, what's not down, you know. And this goes to everyone. And every single game you guys play, you should be watching the fight. Look at like this is very common. What he's doing is like what I see all of you guys do. Is why are we looking at this? You could either wall and then you could just right click here and then your auto pathing will be there. If anything that's arguable, that if you just right click here and don't look, that pathing will bring you there faster because the way the game codes is when you click somewhere, the game automatically brings you the fastest pathing possible like mathematically, but I don't trust us humans. If we're clicking here, and then we're gonna click here, and then we're gonna click here, and we're doing like fucking like this, even if it's a second slower, it's probably just it's not as proper, you know. And then here, like you have to be watching the fight, because let's say you're watching the fight right now, and you see it's a fucking nail biter. They're all 1 HP. My team's all 1 HP, and and the fight could end any second now. Then we're not even hitting this. We're gonna like, bro, there's this urgency. We have shit to do. If you're watching the fight and it's kind of dying, like Jin's already out, Ari's already out, then sure, hit the Herald, you know. But if like, what's worth more, stopping a Herald or saving three teammates and then killing three enemies? That's 6 kills. That's fucking like game changing, right? But from your info, you
Right.
have no idea. Try skip Herald, try not, because you're not watching. Makes sense. And
Mhm.
it just takes zero. Like there's things that like I don't tell you guys to do because I think it's like unrealistic, too much effort. But I think this is like it's literally just right click here and then just right click left click on the map and just stare. Don't have to you're just it's like we're watching a
Mhm.
fucking movie. We're just gonna watch the fight. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
I think if you watched it and you knew what they had or didn't have, you wouldn't maybe you'd be able to keep your flash. Okay. Anyway, that fight was good. Next objective is 1 minute on dragon. We're 2.5 items. We're really, really strong. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So both my cats just decide to do their morning poop at the same time, and if I didn't clean it up, I would start suffocating for the rest of the session.
Oh,
Nice. All right. So dragons in a minute. We're just waiting for our teammates to respawn, and then looking to team fight. Do not want to be walking into top jungle for any reason. Dragons in 20 seconds. Why do I care about Krug camp? Remember how before I was saying how if first of all you have camps up, so you have stuff to do. But let's say you didn't have camps up. If we have nothing to do, it's completely acceptable to just sit in this bush for 20 seconds, right? Because if their jungle walks in to get vision before they direct the swan, which everyone wants to do, or if their support walks in, you'll just kill them, right? Or you'll burn their flash, or burn their ult, or burn whatever. Why do we have 4 people at top tower before dragon spawn? And now you realize, but now it's too late. They see 4 people at top. They're just gonna walk in and hold control. And the thing is, your team's following you. Like Leona's following you. Pantheon's following Leona. It's like literally like follow the leader with you at the front of the desk, right? Um,
right.
so and now you realize like, oh shit, and like I have to give Dragon now, but like why are we giving Dragon? Like the score is 23-13. You're Thanos. Like why on earth would we ever give this Dragon? You know?
Right.
Worst case is like let's say Otacon spawn topside, then you could argue that okay, we'll get Tower and Otacon for Dragon. That's a good trade, and you know what, that is a good trade. But Otacon also spawned downwards as well, so you're double fucked. Because if you stay top, what stops them from doing Dragon and then just pulling Otacon after? Like this guy TP top, I don't know why. This guy TP's to Dragon, they just do both. They do Otacon and Dragon, which they did, and now the game's like okay, they did like the game's just like already like you're putting yourself in such a bad spot. Like you have to be constantly thinking at every stage of the game, what is the next objective? Like nothing else matters. The only thing I'm thinking about the entirety of the game is I'm pressing tab every 30 seconds and saying, okay, when does dragon spawn? Okay, 30. Okay, when does dragon spawn? Okay, 50. Okay, when does dragon spawn? 120. It takes 30 seconds to get there. That means every time dragon spawns in 50 seconds, I have 20 seconds of free time. Dragon spawns in 2 minutes 20 seconds. Okay, I got a minute 50 in free time. And the second that dragon goes to 30 seconds, all I'm doing is clicking towards it, pinging it. Obviously, if we could be there even earlier, it's better. But that's like the last like moment, right? You're here, you're just not thinking about it at all. And just now you realize it, but now it's too late. You're just not. It's like so your mid game problems are literally just not thinking about when the objective spawns. That's all it is. Here, you're not even thinking about Otacon. You just ping Dragon, but you didn't even for 1 second process the Otacon was spawning too. So I don't know. We're just on the wrong side of the map. They get Otacon. Now we're playing catch up. Like we went up, we didn't even trade anything. We didn't get top tower. We didn't get the top camps. We literally got nothing. So we give Otacon for free. Now we go for this fight. Okay, we win the fight. Thank God. We get Dragon. I mean, no wonder we win the fight when we're fed. Like we're stronger than them. We should always win this
That
fight.
that team fight got me a question.
Yeah, sure.
That I've always think like, um, is it worth like instead of buying like Mortal Reminder or like LDR when you're playing against a Kindred, always go for Collector just for the fact that her ult is a thing,
No.
or
So the way the math works on collector damage is when someone has more than 65 armor, Lord Doms will always do more damage than collector, and when someone has less than 65 armor, collector will always do more damage. I guarantee you, if we click Kindred right now and check her armor with tab eyes, she has more than 65 armor. Right now, if you go into a practice tool, and you made a target dummy with her exact HP, 1600 HP, I think whatever, that's probably around where it is, um, and 80 armor. And I want you to, you could go do this while I'm doing the rest of the sessions. And I want you to buy 2 items, Triforce and Kraken. Sorry, Triforce Collector. And then you could buy Triforce Lord Doms. Um, and then you could do W auto, Q auto, W auto, Q auto, W auto, Q ult. You do these 4 combos, boom, boom, boom. Uh, once with this items and then once with Triforce Lord Doms, I bet you money Lord Doms does more damage. From my knowledge, is the cutoff point has always been around 65 armor. When they have more than 65, Lord Doms do more damage. When they have less than in practice, you can't do halves. You can only do armor by 10. So you do a dummy that's 60 armor dummy, and then you do a dummy that's 70 armor dummy. And then this dummy would be better for collector, and this dummy would be better for Lord Doms. But because the cutoff point from the math I remember is somewhere like 65.7 armor is where collector falls off in
yeah.
damage compared to armor pen.
But at some point in the game, like almost every champ is past that threshold, right?
Yeah,
Or
that's why
Yeah.
when you go crit Viego, you should always have Lord Doms like third, or at least
yeah,
fourth.
exactly.
That's why like there's no that same with the AD carry. That's why there's no AD carry that should ever like not have because technically AD carries could go like IE, Shilbo, Runans, Yuntai. Like AD carries in theory could swap Lord Doms, but you see AD carries, or at least you should see AD carries with Lord Doms in inventory every game with that same logic because everyone goes to a threshold where they have passed more than 70 armor. So everyone, so if you're a crit champion, you should always have Lord Doms as your third item or fourth item or even second item, um,
Yeah.
because you say yourself that's a threshold. So
Yes, but it's still
Yeah.
like when
Yeah,
playing
I
against
typically
like a
just build
Kindred
it
with
like pen item second because it doesn't the damage that you might lose if they're squishier and you could build collectors like you said the damage falls
mm.
off later
You're
as
just, I
minions
mean,
heal.
collector's an item you build when you're like snowballing or super fed, and also that's we're talking about Kindred guys.
exactly.
If we're talking about Jhin or Aphelios, they don't have 65 armor. Their armor is still like 58,
Yeah.
59, 61. So technically, like if we're comparing damage, collector would do more damage right now to their squishies, being their AD carry and support. Maybe their mid laner. Thing is, Kindred went tab eyes. She just doesn't count anymore, right? Because if we go, what level is it? Let me check it. Okay, Jhin. Let's watch this, guys. Jhin level 8. I mean level 11. Okay. Um, just making sure nothing pops up. All right, let's look at this, guys. Jhin. Oh, is it the wrong site? Oh, yeah, wrong site. Let me go this one. Oops. All right. There should be a ball. Okay, here we go. Level 11. All right, guys. Jin at level 11 has 65 armor, so he's right on the threshold where
Exactly.
the collector will still because keep in mind also collector has more AD, right? So right now like collector will be slightly more damage. But also guys, he didn't just complete collector as well. If you look at his items, he has like let's say this. Imagine this collector, right? He'd have collector plus he'd have this. So if we're doing it like this, like let's go to when he finished Lord Doms. He finished Lord Doms at 17 minutes. I think here Jin was level 9, right? So if we go level 9, when he finished the item, right? When he finished the item,
Yep.
this guy had 55 armor, guys. So for and then when was this? And when did we check? It was it's right now 17 minutes in the game, and then this fight for Dragon was 22 minutes in the game. So that means that gives them guys a 5 minutes, and 5 minutes in game is a lot of time. You could completely lose or win a game in 5 minutes. That gives him 5 minutes, or where he'd be doing way more. He'd be doing way more damage if we went collector second compared to Lord Doms, right? So it's not like oh my god. I mean, like when I say 65 armor and we're saying that everyone will get it, yeah, collector sounds terrible, but collector any lethal item is a snowball item. You only build it when you're ahead. If you're behind, if you're 0-4, then yeah, we're never building collector, right? In this case, he got fed early, and he's really had an XP and gold while that enemy team is stunted. So he bought himself a 5 to 6 minute grace timer where the support and the AD carry will be taking just doing damage. In this game, again, Kindred went tab eyes. If this guy Kindred didn't go tab eyes, he would also have like a 2 to 3 minute time slot where he'd be doing extra damage to collector as well, right? So it's it's tit for tat. There's pros and cons to everything. If you're really snowballing as well, keep in mind, and you go collector, and you just go Lord Dom's third, because if you had collector instead of Lord Dom's, these components wouldn't be these components. These components would be Last Whisper, and this would be Cloak, right? So then he'd already have both components to Lord Dom's, and then on his next base he'd have it. So then, because only right now, because we just did the math right now Jin has 65 armor. So right now Collector would still be, if this is Collector, he'd still be doing same amount of damage, if not more than Lord Dom's. And I guarantee on his next base he'd have Lord Dom's. So the second Jin gets to that threshold of like 68, it wouldn't matter. He already has Lord Dom's anyways. So the threshold's gone. Make sense? So
Mhm.
it's like don't overthink it. To be honest, it's if you want really simple. I'm like a big math and item guy in League, so I can like point it out. But if you really want to simplify it when you're snowballing ahead as Viego, yeah, just go collector. If you're not and you're behind, then just don't. You can go Sundered. You can go Lord Dom second. You could do a bunch of different things. In this game he did Lord Dom just to be safe, which is fine. But it's completely acceptable this game for him to go collector with how Fedi was early game to go collector second into Lord Dom third. That would have been completely fine. And if you're a player who just like really values, if you're a player who really values Shobo third because you really think you need it for the survivability, then you would never go collector second, because then if you go collector second and then you want to go Shobo third, then you're finishing Lord Noms way too late in the game, you know.
Yep.
So makes sense, everyone.
Yep.
So, I just don't know what you're doing. I can't even give you any advice. I don't know why you're running into them. You see them all here. You see Jin here. You see Mordekaiser here. You went Tabai is now Merc, so there's no world where you should be like super confident against this guy because you didn't even build for him. There's no objective here. Your Leona's fine. Either he's gonna get hit by this last Jin ult and die, or he's gonna dodge it and not die, or it'll hit him and it just won't kill him. So either way, if your mentality is I want to save my Leona, the only thing you could do for him is stand right here and block the last Jin ult, and then that's it. There's nothing. You're just not thinking. I don't know. It just feels like you're not thinking. It feels like you're just like see enemy and you click in, and then you realize to yourself, oh shit, wait, I can't kill this guy. So I
No, I
don't.
wasn't even thinking about
Like,
the Merc right there. I was
there's no
looking
bot side
at
objective.
left.
There's no crab up. There's no dragon up. There's no Otacon up. There's no reason to even be bot side. If I'm you right now and leave, it's all about leaving base because there's nothing to think about right now, right? When you're leaving base, you're just like you have 20 seconds where we don't have to fight anyone, we don't have to path anywhere, we don't have to space anything. Like this is the time to not think. So I'm not thinking right now. So what is the next objective? There's no dragon up. There's no Otacon up. There's no Baron up. Okay. Let's look at the towers next. There's no easy objective like neutrals. The next objective is towers. Okay. There's no towers mid. Okay. There's no towers bot. Okay. There's towers top. So what does it mean? The next objective of the game until the next Baron or dragon spawns, the next objective is towers. So the same way how if dragon was up, we'd clear downwards like this. If towers are up, only topside too. Sometimes it's hard to tell there's a tower here, there's a tower here, and then we have to decide which one do we play for. This one's like really fucking obvious, easy. No towers, no towers, towers. So we would just do Raptors, Wolves, Gromp into top tower. That's it. Instead, we're opening like we're fucking up from the very start because now you're pathing downwards because you're doing Gromp, Wolves, Raptors. But what is there to do down there? There's no towers to get. There's no camps to invade. You just took all these camps, so there's no camp for a minute 30. You just got blue minute. So blue's not for 4 minutes. These camps are not for a minute. So there's no camps to invade. There's no towers to get. There's no dragon to get. There's no auto. There's actually nothing to do here for the next 4 minutes. It's literally a fucking wasteland. Meanwhile, there's tower. There's tower. The only camp that's up on the enemy team is Krug. So the only objectives up are topside objectives, and we're pathing downwards from base. So we normally would never even be here, because if we path upwards, by the time you'd be here right now, like walking into Gromp, and then you see them walking, you see Jin and Mordekaiser walking to your bot side, fucking awesome. Let's go hit top tower, or let's go dive this Ahri. You're just not thinking about. This is like what, the third time this game, where you're just not thinking about the objective at all. There's the first dragon you gave because you weren't there in time. The second dragon you gave because you went to top tower. The third, and then this third one is just the only objective up is top tower, and instead you are dying in bot side Raptors. I guess you. So you just. I don't know. I think your quote unquote mid game problem is really really simple. Every time you leave base, just press tab for 5 seconds. When you're 8 seconds recalling, and then 15 seconds walking the map. You have 23 seconds where you don't have to do anything. You're not hitting anyone. You're not spacing anyone. You're not fucking, you're not landing skill shots. You have 23 seconds just to think in your head, what is the objective? What do I path towards? And then I hope in 23 seconds you can figure it out, right? Because in this case, it should look really self-explanatory. There's just nothing up besides towers. So let's path towards the towers, Because your team ends up 18th here, but it's like pure luck. You have no control over your team, how your teammates play this fight, Make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. I definitely wasn't thinking about the top.
And now it's
tower
like, okay, what's the next objective now? The next objective now is, I mean, technically Baron is in 45, but like it's really rare that people ever do Baron on spawn nowadays. So the next realistic objective now is Dragon in a minute and 40 seconds. So what am I doing? I'm playing for. If you want to sit in the bush in the jungle, I don't mind this. But if we're doing, why are we here instead of just sitting here, right? Because if we get someone here, it's free Dragon. Technically, you could argue if I get someone here, then we could pull Baron. And if you want, and since you guys are fed, if you want to pull Baron at 25 minutes, you can. Just be like aware, I think Kindred's like a hard guy to go for just because it's Kindred ult. If this guy doesn't have Kindred ult, I think this is still correct. Because again, if we have nothing to do before an objective spawns, then sitting in the jungle is playing for the objective. Because if we kill someone, then we get an objective. Like here, I don't know where you're going. I'm just spam pinging Baron on spawn. We got 2 kills. Perfect. Baron's up in 20 seconds. Kindred's up for 40 seconds. That means when Baron spawns, I mean, it's a 3v5 for 20 seconds, probably like 35 because they still have to walk when they respawn, they still have to walk from base. So here, again, you should be only thinking about objective. It's obvious that you're not thinking about objective because if you were, you wouldn't be walking to Wolf Camp. You'd be the second you'd kill this Aphelios. Again, what's the next objective? Oh, Baron. All right, sick. Also, I only think it's acceptable to sit in the enemy jungle if you're doing this because you want to start the objective with number advantage, right? But the fact that you don't even think about Baron means you weren't doing this for Baron. You were just doing this because you felt like it. I mean, it's all about the intent. So if your intention was to sit in this bush, get a pick, and then start Baron off the pick, I think sitting in this bush is awesome. But the fact that you're not the one pinging Baron means that wasn't why you sit in this bush. Make sense? So that's why sitting in the bush is just wrong then. The only reason why sitting in the bush is good is the idea of I'll get a pick, and we're gonna pull Baron off that pick. So your AD carry, whoever started pinging it, realized it. Thank God. Now we play towards the dragon, which is the next objective. Teammates die. Not your fault. I would say as before though. Instead of hitting the Raptors, maybe we should pan our camera and watch the fight. It's the same thing as the level 8 fight at Wolf Camp. What sums are being used? What else are being used? I have no if I'm you, I have no idea what they use or didn't use because we're hitting Raptor Camp while our team is fighting to the death. And these small things matter because like if you're here 2 seconds faster because you skipped you should skip Raptor like a human being instead of hitting them, and you're in this bush already. And if he walks in, you'd actually get full charge W and kill this guy. But he blue trinkets now, and now he actually kites away because the difference from imagine being instead of being here, you'd be here. and this W lands. This W and obviously doesn't land, right? So literally it's a 1 second difference. It's the difference from you killing Aphelios and not killing Aphelios. Because if you kill Aphelios here, then you still get free dragon. But now that he's obviously you can't kill him, then now dragon's not free. You know. So you're just like really tunnel vision on camps. When your team's literally fighting to the death and you're thinking about Raptor camp, this is so strange to me. Just panic, like look at the minimap. They're just fucking. They're literally dying. They're on the beaches of Normandy right now. You're on fucking Raptors. It's so weird. We steal it. Nice job. Assume you guys is A7 and then and mid or end bot, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's. I only have two things for you.